also?
Yes, Prabhuji. If you give us your WhatsApp number, we can send it to you on
yes,
that.
sure.
I
Thank
have,
you
I
very much.
have, I will send. I will send.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Okay. Okay, thank you very much. So today we are going to talk or discuss on a very important topic, which is importance of deity worship for Grihastha ashram. So deity worship is so these are a few topics that we are going to cover. What is deity worship? Why is deity worship important for Grihasthas? What is deity? What is a deity? What are the benefits of worshipping deities, especially for Grihasthas? And how to perform deity worship at home, and reciprocation of the Lord with devotees in their deity form. So these are some few topics that we'll be discussing. We'll see how it goes, because I would like to also, I'm sure there must be so many questions. So I would like to spend also quite a number of minutes for question and answers. So we'll be doing that. But deity worship is part of our devotional service. There are so many kinds of devotional services. There is sadhana vidhi, sadhana bhakti, which is known as Vaidhi bhakti, or there is also raganuga bhakti, which is spontaneous devotional service. But us as sadhakas or neophytes, then for us, we perform sadhana bhakti. Sadhana bhakti means we follow rules and regulations. Our devotional service is based on following rules and regulations. Not we cannot perform spontaneous bhakti, because it is not something that is imitated. It is not something that is imitated. So, spontaneous devotional service comes after so much of practice, of sadhana bhakti. Sadhana bhakti. It is very, very important. Those who perform spontaneous devotional service are on a different level. They're about the three modes of material nature. They have no distinction with this body. They're just pure devotees. But as neophyte devotees, we strictly perform sadhana bhakti. Sadhana bhakti means regulated devotional service, following rules and regulations to please the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And once we perfect our sadhana, we become perfect in our devotional service, then only we progress. We progress to spontaneous devotional service. But that takes so many years, sometimes even so many lifetimes to achieve that situation or that level. So sadhana bhakti is very important for us, and it's one of the limbs of our sadhana bhakti. Prahlad Maharaj says there Prahlad Maharaj has mentioned 9 limbs of bhakti when he was preaching. So the 9 limbs of bhakti, are you all, do you know anything about this? Sorry. Have you ever discussed the 9 limbs of bhakti?
No, Ramrup.
Prabhuji, you discuss
Okay.
it with us, please.
Okay. So the 9 limbs of bhakti is Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, Smaranam, Pada Sevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakhyam, Atmanivedanam. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu. The first principle or the basis of our sadhana bhakti is Shravanam, hearing. We hear and then we chant. We hear how we are supposed to chant, then we chant. So Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu. We hear and speak about the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This is the foundation of devotional service, sadhana bhakti. Then comes smaranam, padasevanam, archanam, vandam, dasyam, sakyam, atmanivedam. This all comes gradually. But the basis for all this other limbs of bhakti is shravanam and kirtanam. Then out of this, then actually there are other limbs of devotional service which Srila Rupa Goswami has mentioned in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Nectar of Devotion. I think so. It's around 64, if I'm not wrong. Then out of those 64, then he has reduced or given us the 5 most important. It is given us the 5 most important limbs of bhakti that we will see. And then it is over here we can see. Then it says, why is it important for Grihastha? Why is deity worship important? Then we will see that in the further verses that are given here. So, as it is said here, of the 64 items mentioned above, Lord Chaitanya instructed that 5 are the most important due to the present condition of civic life. They are as follows. So, all these limbs, the 64 limbs of bhakti, these are the most important, and these are easily performed in this period. In this period of time, we can see everyone is focused in themselves. Everyone just cares about themselves and less care about other people, right? They're more into themselves, selfishness, and therefore it is very to perform devotional service, one has to be selfless. One cannot perform devotional service or cannot reach to the platform of pure devotional service when one is self-motivated. Therefore, it is mentioned several times. Anya bilashita shunyam jnana karmadhanavritam anukulyena krishnanu shilanam bhaktiruttamam. That the highest kind of devotional service should be selfless service to the Lord and should be unmotivated. It is not that I am doing anything for the Supreme Personality of Godhead. If I do this, then this is the benefit I should get from it, right? Like how we do for a beautiful wife, we worship Parvati and then, or Lord Shiva, and then we'll get a beautiful wife. Or I want to worship Lakshmi because I want lots of money. But that is all motivated motivated devotion. That if I be devoted to this personality, or if I worship like this, then I will get this benefit. But so this is our condition. This is our condition, that we always, our devotional service is not unmotivated, it's motivated. That if I surrender to Krishna, then I will be saved, or I'll be less anxiety, or I'll get some benefit. Krishna says that he'll give me moksha, sarva dharman parityaja mamekam sharanam raja, that if I leave every religion and surrender to him, then I will get liberation. But what is this liberation? We don't understand that. That liberation is that he will engage us in his service. So therefore, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Rupa Goswami emphasize on this five most important uh, limbs of bhakti that we all should perform. We should all try to perform. Then there is a chance for us to advance properly. Otherwise, we are always diverted. We are not given the proper way of doing things. But this is the proper way to do it. So then what are these five limbs, important limbs? Then one should associate with the devotees. Association is the most important aspect, aspect of devotional service. Without association of devotees, our devotional life is zero. 100% it's zero. Devotees are very, very dear to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And if we do not associate with them, then we will not understand who the Supreme Personality of Godhead is. Because we associate with devotees because they do understand that the Supreme Personality of Godhead is only understood by his devotees. Supreme Personality of Godhead is only understood by his devotees. So it is very, very important to associate with devotees. So what kind of association are you supposed to do with devotees? Hearing from them attentively. Hearing about what? You hear about the glories of Krishna, how you can make advancement in your spiritual practices. Not that, oh, this devotee did like this, or this and this other unnecessary talks, prajalpa. No, this is not what we are supposed to hear. We are supposed to hear who is Krishna, how we can serve him, what is the best way to serve him, what does he like, how can we do things that can please him. These are the things we are supposed to hear from devotees. This is called actual association. Srila Rupa Goswami in the Nectar of Instruction, he gives the 6 exchanges, loving exchanges between Vaishnavas. He says, Dadati pratigrinati guyam akyati prichati bhunkte bhojayate cheva shadvidam pritilakshanam. That how can you increase your relationship with devotees? How can you associate with devotees very nicely? Then he gives 6 kind of exchanges. The first one is dadati pratigrinati, that you give gifts to devotees and you accept gifts from them. Dadati pratigrinati guyamakyati prichati, that you reveal your heart in confidence. You're facing some problems, you know you have this devotee to go to and reveal that, Prabhu or Mataji, I am facing this problem. You have confidence in them, you trust them so much that you want to open up your heart to them in confidence. You reveal, you ask questions, and then when they trust you, then what do? Guyam akhyati prichati. They reveal their hearts. They reveal themselves to you confidentially also. And then this increases your affection or your relationship within devotees. And then the last one, and which is very prevalent in our Krishna consciousness movement, or it is a very, very important aspect in our Krishna consciousness movement is giving prasad, feeding prasad, and accepting prasadam from others. This is very, very important. Feeding someone something that they like. Not that I would like to invite a devotee to my house and I'm going to prepare Karela sabji, or I'm going to make neem begun. Neem begun is a Bengali sabji that I think Samataji is very, she knows what I'm talking about. It's very, very bitter. They make with the neem leaves. Neem leaves are very bitter. So it's not that I'm going to invite someone to my house and I'm like, okay, I didn't know what you like, so I just prepared this neem begun for you or this Karela sabji for you, so kindly eat it. That will not increase our relationship with devotees. What will do? Oh, Prabhu, what do you like? Oh, you like pasta. Oh, you like pizza. Oh, you like paneer. Okay, so I will make paneer for you. And then when the devotees come, you give them paneer, you give them rasagula, you give them sweets, you give them something they like to eat, they'll appreciate it, right? So this is how their devotees relationships, they become strong, or they become um, very nice relationship. And like this, they can make advancement together. So this is how association of devotees should happen. Then one should chant the holy name of the Lord in all circumstances. The chanting of the holy name is an easy and inexpensive process of realization. One can chant any of the innumerable names of the Lord at any time. One should try to avoid offenses. There are 10 offenses which one can commit while chanting the transcendental names, and they should be avoided as far as possible. But in any event, one should try to chant the holy names of the Lord at all times. This is the basis of our Krishna consciousness movement. At any circumstance, we have to chant the holy name of the Lord. Because this is the process. This is the process. Prabhupada is always emphasizes, chant and be happy, chant and be happy, chant and be happy. So this is something not said out of just rules and regulations, but Srila Prabhupada had experienced this. He had experienced that by chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, what kind of happiness one experiences. And out of that experience, then he gave this holy name to us. So this is one of the important aspects of devotional service. Then another very important, sorry. Okay. Yeah, one should hear the transcendental topics enunciated in the Srimad Bhagavatam. This hearing is made possible through platforms like lectures by Srila Prabhupada and other bona fide devotees. So again, that we should study Srila Prabhupada's books very, very seriously. We should understand how important Srila Prabhupada's books are. He has given his life. He has given his life to give us something which is very, very valuable if we take it very seriously. These topics actually help us to understand who Krishna is. If we really want to understand who Krishna is, then this is the most important thing to do. That is, hear about Krishna from the Srimad Bhagavatam. Srimad Bhagavatam is Krishna himself. Srimad Bhagavatam is Krishna himself. And therefore, which other way can we understand who Krishna is than hearing from Srimad Bhagavatam? And the best way to do this is from hearing from Srila Prabhupada, who has experienced who Krishna is. There was once Shruta Kirti Prabhu, Prabhupada's secretary and disciple. He came here and he shared a very wonderful story with us. He was saying that there was once Prabhupada was reading the Srimad Bhagavatam and he was reading the purpose. And this was not the first time he had seen. He had seen so many times that when the devotees were reading the verses from the Bhagavatam and they would read the purport, then Prabhupada would attentively listen to the purpose and he would listen very carefully and he would read the purpose very carefully. And then one day a devotee asked him, Prabhupada, you have written all these books. How come you're reading them and you're relishing them? What's happening? And then Prabhupada revealed something very interesting. He said that I didn't write these books. Actually, Krishna narrated this purpose to me, and I was just writing them down. But these are directly the words of Krishna. Therefore, I'm relishing this. So we can understand from this small anecdote that this Srimad Bhagavatam is Krishna himself, who has come to reveal himself. So therefore, it is very, very important for us to study Srimad Bhagavatam, hear Srimad Bhagavatam, hear the explanation of Srimad Bhagavatam through Srila Prabhupada's lectures and through other bona fide devotees who have understood Srila Prabhupada's mood, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mood, and ultimately they have understood Krishna. So we have gone through these three very important aspects of bhakti, which are very important. The fourth one is residing in holy places. Now, residing in holy place does not mean that, okay, whatever responsibilities we have, whatever we have to do, we leave everything and we all run to Vrindavan or Mayapur or Jagannath Puri or wherever, to any holy places. No. By performing this devotional service, by performing Shravanam, by performing Kirtanam, by performing Smaranam, by worshipping deities, it is said that by performing this kind of devotional service, that place becomes a holy place. This place becomes a holy place. So this means that we have to situate ourselves in Krishna consciousness. We have to situate ourselves in Krishna consciousness to be in a holy place. Because sometimes we go to holy places. We go to Vrindavan, we go to Mayapur, we go to Rishikesh, we go to Badrinath, we go to Kedarnath, we go to Dwarka. We go but sometimes we go there for our own sense enjoyment. We think we have gone to a holy place, but what is our mood? What we are thinking about? Are we thinking about, I I hope no one's robbing my house in Nairobi, or I hope my house is not getting robbed in Eldoret, or I hope my shop is safe, or I hope my business doesn't bloop once I go, you know. So like you're thinking about all these things when you're in the holy places. Yeah. So are you actually situated in a holy place? No, because your mind is not there. So to be in a holy place is very transcendental. We can be in Mayapur right now just by thinking, oh, Shri Radha Madhava is there. Or we think, oh, Panchatattva is here. Or, you know, we think about Vrindavan, Krishna Balaram, Gaurnitai, Radha Shamsundara here, Giriraj, you know. Now, just by thinking that, then you are in a holy place. It is all about your thoughts. So, one should make his home as Mathura or Vrindavan or Mayapur by always thinking about Krishna, always thinking about the holy places, always engaged in devotional service. Then automatically that place becomes a holy place. Just like, I'll just show you, it's a bit embarrassing, but I have Radha Madhava here. Can you see?
Yes. Yes.
And I have Giriraj, and I have the Gora Arti here, and it keeps me in Mayapur. So this is how we can be in Mayapur or Vrindavan. It all depends on us. So this is the whole point of Krishna consciousness. The word consciousness, we have to be conscious about Krishna. Then we'll always be with him. We'll be associating with him. And that will become a holy place. And then the fifth limb of devotional service is one should worship the deity with devotion, so that the whole atmosphere of one's home becomes a replica of the Lord's abode. That just by worshipping deities, we'll go through what kind of deities or the whole thing, but in this aspect or explanation by Rupa Goswami is just by performing this kind of worship, then um, the whole place, the whole your home becomes a replica of the Lord's abode. So this is how we can make. These are the 5 limbs of devotional service. Srila Rupa Goswami emphasizes that this devotional service very important, and it should be performed with faith. Faith is the main thing to perform this devotional service. Archa Murti Shraddhaya Sevaya. That one must perform devotional service with faith. If there is no faith, then it's nothing. It's not devotional service. It is you cannot think even that this is a deity or this is a picture of the Lord. Nothing. It's just what the Mayavadis do. They don't believe in the form of the Lord. They don't believe in the activities that the Lord performed. They don't believe in all these things. So we become like Mayavadis. So the very important point about performing devotional service is Shraddha. That is also, he says, Shraddha is the first step of devotional service. So these are the 5 limbs of devotional service. Should we take any questions? Does anyone have any question?
Yes, sure. I'll give chances to other people to ask first. Very well presented, Ramrup.
Thank you. I'm a bit nervous.
So that everybody doesn't speak at the same time, Can you raise your hand and then we can take your question, or you can type your question in the chat box. Maybe it is easier to raise your hands and ask your question so Prabhuji can even hear your voice. Shomya Prabhuji, please ask your question. And
Yes,
switch
Mataji.
on your video so Prabhuji can see you.
Okay. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, what are the 10 offenses which can be committed during the chanting? You told that one should try to avoid offenses. There are 10 offenses which one can commit while chanting. What are the yeah?
So this is a very, very long topic, but I'll just quickly tell you a small version of it. That there are 10 offenses to the holy name of the Lord, and first is to blaspheme devotees who have dedicated their life. So basically, you are offending devotees who have dedicated their life for preaching the glories of the holy name. And second is to consider names of demigods like Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva to be equal or independent name of Lord Vishnu. To feel that Lord Brahma and Lord Vishnu's Lord Shiva's name is equal to Lord Vishnu or Lord Krishna's name is an offense. Third is to disobey the orders of the spiritual master. Maybe this will take long. Maybe Priya Govinda Prabhu, if you can get it and you can post it in the chat so they can read through it.
Yes, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. We have also, we'll send on the chat or in the group. It's okay. We have printed copy at the temple.
Okay, because it's a bit long, so if we'll.
Yeah, we can understand it is another 1 hour. So
yeah, it is.
Yeah. So there is a question from Prahlad Prabhuji. When you said that we can live in the holy place, what if we live in where we live is close, like just a few meters away from the temple? Can that be fine?
Holy place.
This is our Prahlad, Sadhna's son, by the way.
Yes, yes.
You know what he means? He's there near the temple, yeah?
Yeah. So it is he's for him practical example that he stays right next to the temple or in the temple premises. Then he's already staying in a holy place. Is that your?
Prahlad, is that clear?
Yes, that's clear. Thank you.
Prahlad has always stayed near the temple. He's always been in the holy place.
In Nairobi, he was staying.
Prahlad, you are very fortunate.
His mother's condition is she doesn't go anywhere other than temples. That's a prior condition.
Good condition. Good, very good condition. Any other questions? Before Prabhuji continues, any other questions and clarifications? I think Prabhuji, it was very clear. You can go ahead.
Okay. Okay, so coming to that, then we have discussed what are the 5 limbs. Now, Rishabh Dev is in the 5th canto, he is now talking about our situation that we are in. 558. Srimad Bhagavatam, canto 5, chapter 5, text 8. He says, I will read the translation. The attraction between male and female is the basic principle of material existence. On the basis of this misconception, which ties together the hearts of a male and female, one becomes attached to this body, home, property, children, relatives, and wealth. In this way, one increases life's illusion and thinks in terms of I and mine. So this is our situation. We are always seeing situations in our own perspective, yeah, aham mameti, everything in this material world or anything that is happening in this material world is all revolving around me. Yeah, when sometimes you might have come across this, when someone is expressing that, oh, this thing happened to me, oh, you're not the only one, even I have, it has happened to me. Instead of trying to understand that he's in this kind of situation and I should help him, oh no, it's something normal, it has happened to me also. Or if something happens, oh, wow, I got a mobile phone. Oh, even I got a mobile phone. Instead of being happy for him, then we are always thinking, trying to make ourselves more important than what they have to say, right? So this is all known as self-centeredness. That in any kind of situation, Mataji, could we just mute? There are so many people unmute and there's some sound coming that is.
Kindly all unmute, mute yourself, please. I'm trying to mute you, but then some of you can unmute yourself again, so please.
So this is the situation. Self-centered. We become self-centered. This is Rishadev is explaining how this attraction between male and female, it creates the material existence, and then on this basic misconception, then all other things come up. We get children, and then there's this famous story given how one gets entangled into all this. Is a famous story of a sadhu. Sadhu is trying to meditate, and then there is a rat that is coming to disturb. Whenever he wants to meditate, and he's coming and chewing on the cloth and just creating disturbance. Okay, to get rid of the sadhu is thinking, to get rid of this rat, then I need a cat. So he gets a cat, and then the cat does its job, but it's not always satisfied with the rat, but it needs milk. So to get milk, we need a cow. So he gets a cow. Now, if he starts taking care of the cow, giving the grass and taking out the milk and then giving the milk to the cat, then when will he have time for meditating? So what does he do? Oh, I need someone who can take care of this cow. So he gets married. And then while he's getting married, then what happens? The wife is crying, is not satisfied. I want children. Then he thinks that after giving children to the wife, then he can peacefully meditate so that no one is going to disturb him. The wife can take care of the children and the cows, and everything's just going to work out. But the children then start complaining, oh, you don't pay any attention to us, and blah, blah, blah. And they start coming up. Excuse me.
Bless you, Prabhuji.
Thank you. So they start complaining, oh, you have no time for us. What will we do? We need a career, and we need to get a job, and we need to maintain ourselves. And then the sadhu just thinks, it would have just been better if this rat was disturbing me. Then I wouldn't have, if I wouldn't have gotten cat, then I wouldn't have gotten a cow, then wife, and then children. So this is our condition. This is our condition. This is how we get entangled in this material existence. And then Prahlad Maharaj, he gives a solution. So very beautiful verse. So he's Hiranyakashipu. When Prahlad comes back from from studying from the Gurukul. Then he was being asked by Hiranyakashipu, so what did you learn? What did you learn in your school? And then he started preaching to his father. And then the father took it as a joke. He said, Radha Govind Maharaj always jokes about it, that maybe some ISKCON devotee might have sneaked into the Gurukul and must have preached to Prahlad Maharaj. He makes this joke. But then after thinking about this, then again Prahlad Maharaj is asked, so okay, what do you think is the right thing to be done? What do you think is the right thing to be done? What do you think one should do? Then he quotes this verse, Tat sadhu manye suravarya dehinam sada samud vigna diyam asad grahat hitvatma padam griham andakupam vanam gato yad dharim ashrayeta. Then Prahlad Maharaj replied, O best of the asuras, king of the demons, as far as I have learned from my spiritual master, any person who has accepted a temporary body and a temporary household life is certainly embarrassed by anxiety because of having fallen in a dark well where there is no water but only suffering. One should give up this position and go to the forest. More clearly, one should go to Vrindavan where only Krishna consciousness is prevalent and should thus take shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So this is what Prahlad Maharaj thinks, that the most important thing is to take shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And to take shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, it is very, very important to have such an environment which is favorable to perform this kind of devotional service. Then only we can take shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Again, our Krishna consciousness movement, Prabhupada said that there are two most important principles in this movement. What are the two most important principles or the main principles? It is always remember Krishna and never forget him. This is our goal. We should always remember Krishna and never forget him. Same, Srila Rupa Goswami emphasizes, and the Vedas also says, Smartavyam satatam Vishnu, Vismartavyam najatu chit, Sarve vidhi nishedasyor etayoreva kinkara. That these two principles are the servants, all other principles of devotional service are the servants of these two main principles. Always remember Krishna, Satatam Smartavyam Satatam Vishnu. Always remember Krishna and Vismartavya Najatu Chita. Never forget Krishna. This is the goal of life. And therefore, Prahlad Maharaj is emphasizing this, that if we want to come out from this bodily platform, this temporary body and temporary household life, then we must practice this limbs of devotional service and take shelter at this shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Only then we can take shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Therefore, it is very, very important. So then you must be thinking that, sorry, the screen is disturbing me, yes. So then we must be thinking then what is the idea behind this worship? That why are grihastas encouraged to worship deities? So these are some few things, few points why Grihasthas are um, encouraged to worship deities. We'll in our next slide, we'll be discussing the different forms of the deities and which form is very important for the grihasthas to worship. So we'll get into that. But the idea behind worshipping deities, number one, is to learn to cultivate service attitude towards the Lord, to cultivate a personal relationship with the Lord, to slowly but surely increase our absorption in loving service. How can I better serve better? How can I get better things for the pleasure of the deities? So this is why we worship, to get the mood of actually interacting with Krishna. So Srila Prabhupada, when he was installing Rukmini Dwarkadish in Los Angeles, so he gave an explanation that how can we become Krishna consciousness, how we can become Krishna conscious, how can we worship the deities. Worshipping deities cannot be done by anyone. Yeah, you need some qualification. You need some qualification. He was explaining that to touch fire, we have to become fire first. We have to become fire, and then we'll be able to touch fire. But otherwise, if we try to touch the fire directly, what will happen? We'll burn ourselves. So therefore, we to worship Krishna, there is a proper procedure that we have to follow. That is to follow the instructions of the spiritual master, to always worship deities in the direction of the spiritual master or advanced devotees, senior devotees who have experience in that field. Now, that is our overall thing. But another thing for grihasthas, we know that our habits in the house are very free, right? So like I feel like eating this, so I'm just going to go and cook and eat. We have something like this, we don't even maintain cleanliness in the house. So therefore, it is advised that you keep a picture form of the Lord that you can worship. And by worshipping this picture form of the Lord, then what will happen? These things will happen. You will learn how to cultivate your service attitudes toward the Lord. Then you'll cultivate a personal relationship with the Lord. Then you will slowly be surely increasing your absorption in loving service. You will not see it as a burden. Sometimes I'm telling you out of experience, seeing so many devotees, keeping deities can be burdensome. Why? Because if we are not properly able to take care of them, then it is very offensive. It is very offensive. And when you make this kind of offenses, the Supreme Personality of Godhead is not pleased. And what is our goal? Is to please the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Therefore, there is a system of how we worship the deities at home. We gradually increase the standard. That's why the difference between the worship that we do in the home and we do in the temple is different. Worship done in the temple it's specifically or very strictly according to the rules and regulations of the Shastras, in which Krishna has personally instructed Uddhava, how he would like to be worshipped. And of course, Narada Muni who is our Acharya in deity worship, has written the Narada Pancharatra, where it is much more elaborately explained how to worship the deity form of the Lord. But at home, we are so lucky. We are so lucky. We are actually very fortunate that the Supreme Personality of Godhead, even this age of Kali, is meant to chant the holy name of the Lord. Yuga Dharma is chanting the holy name of the Lord, but the Supreme Personality of Godhead appears in his deity form in this material world. So when he appears, then we can serve him directly. So when he comes to your house, it is like he adopts to your way of living. Yeah. Now, the way he adopts your way of living means that doesn't mean that he would like to stay in a dirty place, in a dirty environment. He stays according to your rules means, okay, Krishna, in the temple they do Mangalarti at 4:30, but I cannot make it. So I normally wake up at 5:30, so I will wake up at 5:30 and I'll do your Mangalarti at 6 o'clock. This kind of adjustment Krishna makes at home. Therefore, we are very lucky. We are very lucky. And then what happens? Our life becomes centered around Krishna. That's why we keep pictures of deities, or we keep deities at home. For those who are advanced, they keep deities. For beginners, we keep pictures and worship at home. So we keep this so we can make Krishna part of our life. That Krishna, I'm very unfortunate. I have desire of eating pasta and pizza, which is not offered to you at the temple. But I have this desire of eating. So I'll offer this to you, and then I'll accept that as your prasad. So this kind of adjustment Krishna makes for us by staying in our house. But in the temple, we are not going to make pizzas and start offering to the deities. So this is very, very special. So I just want to finish this one point. Deity worship versus idol worship. And then we'll take some questions and we'll end for today. And then maybe we'll catch up another session or something. And
no, it's not a maybe. Ramrup, it's not a maybe, it's a must.
Yes,
it's not a
okay.
maybe, it's a must.
Okay, we will. Next week we'll get back and we'll go into other details of deity worship. Is that okay, Mataji?
No, listen, are you free on Sunday? At 8 o'clock?
Sunday, Sunday, I am free.
Because Kirtika, I have not organized any speaker for Sunday yet. So I was thinking this would be very nice continuation just after a day or two. You know, if you're not free, then I will organize. But if you're free, it'll be, I think, does everyone agree with it? Path and Kirtika and all the rest? Just say yes or no.
I am ever ready, Mataji. I am ever ready.
Oh, great. And the rest? Divi, why are you so quiet? Divi is
Hare
there?
Krishna, sorry, I've been having guests, so I'm trying to go in between both.
Okay. Are you ready for having another session on deity worship on Sunday? You're very busy on Sunday anyway.
But we'll do.
Okay.
Whatever the group
Kirtika,
says.
you've not agreed? Sony, you've not agreed?
Yeah.
Huh?
Okay.
Done.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I want to hear. Okay, from everyone. Otherwise, it's like me dominating. Okay.
Mataji, anything to do with Krishna, we are ready anytime. Don't worry.
Haribol, that's what I wanted to hear. Okay, Ramrup. So you're fixed for Sunday. Oh, Saurabh. Oh,
Okay.
Saurabh also says okay. Great.
Okay.
All right. So,
Okay.
Ramrup, you're booked for Sunday.
So what I'll do, if we have any one or two questions, we can do it today, and then I'll start from here on Sunday. So we can not break the what do you say? Momentum. Yes. Yes. So any questions so far?
So till people are thinking about questions, Prabhuji, on Sunday you will tell us how we should be doing the deity worship?
Yes, we'll discuss about bhoga offering, how we should offer bhoga to Krishna, and then how we should perform arti.
Okay, Prabhuji.
And then I'll finish this points. You know, there the deity form of the Lord appears in so many forms. So we'll discuss the different forms, and then yeah.
And what is the meaning of doing the arti, and in the bhoga, what can we offer?
Sure, we can discuss all those things.
Okay, Prabhuji.
Yes.
And also, Ramrup, I don't think
Yes.
2 sessions will be enough. So be ready
Yes.
for more. Yes, Kirtika? That's okay?
Yes, Mataji. This is what we want. This is our desire. So we want to learn how to worship the deity. We want to know how to do bhoga. We want to know it. So it is better and it is good to start slow and understand the principles and then the crux of it. So I'm really grateful. Today we were all ready to do what to do and how many rounds to do and all those things. But I guess that was a bit of prematurity on our side. I think this background was very informative and it set the scene of what we would have on Sunday and on other days.
Exactly. It's very important to understand the mood, because the practical things, it's very easy to do. Anyone can do it. Even a child can do it. But to understand the mood behind why we do it, how we should do it, what our mood should be, is very, very important. If we do not understand that, then that is very misfortunate. You know, it's very yeah.
Prabhuji, I think people are still thinking of questions, but because our class usually finishes at 9,
Yes, it's even.
But we started late
for
today
me.
because of internet and no power. But
Yes.
I think we can reserve the questions for next week if they don't have any burning issue.
Yes, please.
And I think I'll hand over to Path Prabhuji, because now Prabhuji, Path Prabhuji.
Yes, Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Just sorry, this you're doing on cloud. You're recording this session on cloud.
Yes, and I'll send you the YouTube link. I put it on YouTube for everybody to see as well.
Yeah, but if you can also send me that link where I can download the video into my laptop also.
Okay, Prabhuji, I will.
Thank you. Sorry, Path Prabhu. Sorry.
Tomorrow.
No, it's okay. Thank you.
It will come to me today. It will
Yes,
come
sure.
to me
Thank you.
tomorrow.
Thank you.
So I'll do it tomorrow.
Yeah, come.
Prabhuji, also share your email address so that I can send it on to the email.
Okay. Thank you very much, Ramrupadas Prabhuji. It's a great Vaishnava, great Acharya. we are so blissful. We are hearing you after a long time. Yeah, it's a long interval. Thank you, Ramrupadas Prabhu, and I really appreciate your preaching. And our elder people are very eager to worshiping deity. So you just fundamental clear why it is important and how we supposed to be do. It is continuing in maybe 3-4 classes, not 2 or 3. Maybe it is continuing 7 or 10 classes like that, according to your time, and you can supposed to giving your association. And we are so blessed and we are so thankful to you. You are giving very enlightenment class, and we really appreciate to you. So on behalf of all the devotees, we glorification, you please request all the devotee, please come with us and join together and chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra for a blessing, for the glorification of His grace, Ramrupadas Prabhuji. Please join. Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare.
Hare Hare,
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Ram,
Hare Rama,
Ram
Rama
Ram,
Rama,
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Hare.
Hare Hare.
Rama. Hare Hare.
Thank you.
Ram
Haribol.
Thank
Ramrup
you.
Prabhu ki jai.
Yay.
Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.
Thank you very much.
Thank
Thank you
you.
very much,
Prabhuji,
everyone.
see you on Sunday at
Hare
8
Hare.
o'clock. We have
Yes.
fixed you, Prabhuji, now.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, and take your time because we would like your association for longer time. So you can go slow and steady, and we'll enjoy it even more.
Sure.
And
Thank
I forgot to glorification Ramrupadas is a very pleasant personality. He's very, very easy and very cooperative, very friendly atmosphere, very friendly. If we meet personally, we think this is our like a family member. I feel personally, I saw that I share with you, all your people. Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna.
Ramru, by the way, let me share more. He
No,
helped
please.
me in Kisumu when the two pujaris ran away. Ramrup at that time was what, 14 or 15 years old. Yes, Ramrup, am I right with your age?
Yes. Yes.
He shocked me today by telling me what his age is. To me, he's still 21, 22, you know. However, then I calculated, oh, when he was in Kisumu, he was a bit older. I used to think he was only 12 or... Anyway, the fact is he was still a very little toto, but the way he helped me out in Kisumu was amazing and amazing. Everything he wanted to do, from cooking to dressing, to giving class, to everything. Anyway, Ramru, more than anyone, I am so impressed. I am so
Yes.
impressed.
I also impressed so much.
Very impressed, Ramrup. Your presentation was not just good, it was excellent. 7
Excellent.
stars.
Very good. Haribol.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
Anyway, we'll let you go now. Ramrup, I mean, I can tell so many stories about Ramrup. You can stay the whole night up on that one also. You know, it's like,
Mataji,
Huh.
we should request Ramru Prabhuji to be joining us for a class, at least. If not giving the lecture, you should participate, you know.
he kind of is with Umapati when Umapati comes on
Always Ramrupadas
the...
Prabhu, yeah. All the
But
time.
I
he's
hear him,
there.
and I guess he's doing the DT service because I hear the bell at around 8:30.
No. He's the GBC minister. He doesn't have to go on the altar to do. He just goes to
I
tell
do.
them what they're not doing.
No, but I go and personally do also.
These days, right?
Yeah.
These days?
No, unless these days I'm doing every day, but otherwise we have a rotation system, so we always rotate.
Anyway, that's why I said I could do a whole this thing on Ramrup and his leelas from the time I know him. I used to bribe him to learn shloka, so I'll give him rasgulla. Do you remember that, Ramrup?
Yes.
You know, if you learn shloka, I'll give you rasgulla.
Yes.
Can I share one thing about Ramrup? It was very interesting. His parents would come to the temple and he would sit out on the step. So I would tell the mother, why doesn't he come in? Say, Patani, he doesn't listen. So I used to think, why this boy comes and he doesn't want to come in? And guess what? One of our African devotee, he just talked to him. I remember Ramrup told me what he said, but that changed him just from that day. Then he would not leave the temple. Then he wanted to be in the... What did he tell you, Priyavrata, Ramrup? Share?
I don't remember.
You don't remember. And your life changed by talking to him. How can you not remember?
No, he invited me. Actually, he invited me for the Sunday children's class.
Oh, he invited you.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I used to tell your mom about the Sunday classes all the time. And that time, Ashalila was the
I
teacher,
don't know.
yeah?
Yeah. And Karuna.
Oh, okay. I think the elderate people would want a break. I could carry on talking. Anyway, thanks a lot, Ramrup, and thanks for everyone for tolerating. But it's so nice to meet people on the Zoom, you know. And she said that Aisha Leela was there, but she's left. Okay, Hare Krishna, Ramrup.
Hare Krishna.
Go. Lala, you
Prabhuji,
need
we also have a children's class in Eldoret on Sundays. So
Yes.
if you want to see our children, you saw one of them. But if you wanted to
Yes.
see the rest of them, you can also join our Zoom class on at 11:30 every Sunday.
Sure, you can send me a link. I can follow.
And they will be, and you will be inspirational for them. So you can do a class one day as well with them.
Sure. Sure.
Okay, Prabhu. Thank
Thank
Hare
you very
Krishna.
much. Thank you. Very good.
All glories to Prabhupada.
all glories. Haribol to Mayapur Vasi.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. I have not met you before, Giri Wonder Char. Hare Krishna to you.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Where are you from?
I'm from the HKTC.
Okay, okay. Welcome to this group.
You remember just Panjatadva Priyadas.
Okay, but you are welcome every day. We read one text of Bhagavad Gita every day. We are on chapter 2, text 51 tomorrow. And
I've
Umapati
attended.
will come as a mentor. So you're welcome to join if you want.
Tomorrow at the same time, we have another speaker from South Africa, Savyasachi Prabhu, with the HKTC group. So I may not make it, but anytime, any day, I'll be available. I'll join the Eldoret.
Okay, thank you very much. So what do you have a group and you meet every day as well?
Yeah, at the training center. Yeah.
At 8 o'clock?
No, sometimes 7, sometimes 6, because it depends on the time zone the speaker is from.
Okay, so tomorrow it's South Africa, and then
7:30 we have from South Africa, but he's in Bali. He's in Bali, Indonesia. He's not there.
Okay. And what are the topics that you discuss?
I've not been given the topic yet, but the link has already been shared on our group.
Okay.
Yeah.
So usually it is different topics. So are you studying the Gita, or how do you do it?
Currently, during the lockdown, we don't start systematic the Gita, but we used to, even with Mataji when she was still in Nairobi. But right now, we don't follow a consistent program like the one you follow in Eldoret.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fine. Yeah, but at least you are fortunate that you have speakers coming from outside and talking to you. So at least you're hearing one of the pillars is going on.
Yeah, just trying, Mataji, trying.
Yeah.
Thank you very much,
We are
Mataji.
all in the same boat. So thank you for joining us. And thank you
Hare
for
Krishna,
your
Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you for your association.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Okay, Hare Krishna. So I had to put both those people in the waiting room, Prahlad and the Prabhuji. Hello?
Hello? Yes, we can hear you, Mataji.
Okay, I think it is just the three of us. I think they left, but I just wanted to ask, maybe Swami Mataji would have been instrumental in this small meeting as well. Is it okay? Are you okay with the DT worship lectures? Divesh Prabhuji,
Yes, Mataji.
is it okay? I thought it.
Yes, it's always good to learn something new and get new different knowledge. It's all, at the end of the day, it's all about Krishna. So as you said, Krishna is just trying to give us knowledge, no?
Do you want me to call